don't have my most recent finish. Today I'm switching it up. This is like the most loved quilt in our house. My kiddos are on summer break, so they have been home a lot, so I have not been doing many quilts. I also have been working on a bunch of bags. So anyway, this is the Plaid-ish 2.0 quilt. It's a free pattern. It's by Erica at KitchenTableQuilting, and she also has a different one that's more of a tartan plaid, and that one's the Plaid-ish quilt. So this is the Plaid-ish 2.0, and I've done both. I like the look of this one better, slightly more modern. I'd say the other one, I did take the dimensions down a little bit and made it, that one's more of a rectangular quilt. This one is very large, and it's a lot of cutting. I definitely had a bit of a sore wrist after I finished cutting all the squares and rectangles for this. But it's a great size for movie night, forts. We use it for plenty of forts in this house. And I went with super bright colors, scrappy as usual. And for the center of the squares, I used mainly black, a little bit of charcoal, dark green, and yeah, that's it. Not really any navy blues, mostly black and dark green. So let me show you some close-ups and talk a little bit more about the specifics. Okay, so you get a better idea of the size here, and it is still folded. Oh, there's some toys back there. Folded down a bit. With this quilt, the big thing was I just try to keep it random because the layout is really hard to plan. So definitely keep it a scrap quilt. You do want your center small squares to be very dark and saturated, and your rectangles to have contrast to be lighter or very colorful. There's two different, once you download the pattern and see, there are two different shapes that come together. So you can see that this row has taller squares and rectangles, and this row has shorter squares and rectangles. So you'll see in the pattern that you're making two different types of blocks, and then you have to put them together. I think she calls them the A block and the B block. Now it's been a few years since I made this, so maybe there's three different, I think it's just two different types. For the back of mine, I really wanted to use this froggy pattern. I didn't have quite enough, so I did a wider band with the pink, and then I had some extra blocks, I'll hold up and show you, that I put just to make it work on the back. So that's gives you an idea of that's two blocks there, one wide and one narrow block. And you can see all the kids' toys and books under there. For the center of mine, I did low volume, white, a little bit of light pink, and then some sky blue. And from a distance, it still gives the bold contrast of the plaid. Okay, so if you look here, you can see a few colors that I just really wanted this rainbow fabric in there, and this neon pink. So they don't give as much contrast, and same with down here with the soda bottles. I just really loved those prints and really wanted them included in this quilt. So it's not super high contrast, but really that happens 4 times, whatever, throughout the whole quilt. It's not a big deal. And then now, it is very wrinkly, I'm sorry. I'm telling you, it's the everyday quilt. But you can see I've got my light blues, a little bit, this is Ruby Star speckled, very light blush pink, and then some low volumes with just very spread out print on there. I also have, let's see, some of let's see, this is like Allison glass with some birds, and I had used that as backing on another quilt, so I had a bunch of extra of that. But really, it's a very random mix of colors, and I'd say that I really didn't plan it out too much. When I was making the individual blocks, I did just pull so that each block had an even amount of colors, so that I would have some pink, some yellow, some blue. I'm not gonna fill an individual block with a bunch of pink, and that made it easier that when I was building the whole thing, I could put the blocks out and then rotate if I didn't want too much green or yellow next to it, just rotate it. Now there's spots like, oh, I end up with a bunch of lime there. Also, not a big deal. When you're using a quilt, you know, it doesn't matter. I know we get hung up on the details, but the bottom line is it's loved and enjoyed, and that's what happens in the end. This quilt is about 4 years old, and it has held up great. For my binding, I use this Allison glass rainbow with a black background. And then I did show the backing already, but it was pretty far away. I have this froggy, it's cotton and steel. And I was holding on to that for quite a few years. There was a woman on Etsy, she used to do like a backing sale every year around Christmas. So I would load up each Christmas, pick like 2 or 3 5-yard cuts, and that was my, you know, gift to myself. And yeah, I'll put the dimensions and the pattern in the comments, and I hope no one minds a little chit chat from my kiddos in the background enjoying mommy filming. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. If you like seeing quilts that I've already done, or you know, have any specific requests, let me know. And I hope you enjoy this audience, little peanut gallery and silly. All right, we're gonna sign off. That's the Plaid-ish 2.0 from Kitchen Table Quilting with a big okay. Enjoy.